Okay, so I've been watching a few of the episodes on Wake Up TV, Smash the Stigma of Mental Health. Um, Now, rather than smash the stigma, we need to transmute the entire system of Australian society from governance, capitalism, uh, health, everything. The whole system is has evolved to harm people and not to care for people. There is a lack of nutrition, which is why so many people are getting cancer. There is a massive uh, increase in mental illness due to nutrition and due to the force and the anxiety of the system of capitalism and governance, because the common law of the people is nothing like the statutory code that the people are forced to act within. So the time is coming, the time is now for change. I see it all through the news, all through the media, all through my interactions with people. No one is happy with what Campbell Newman is doing in Queensland. He is abusing his power. No one is happy with what Tony Abbott is doing on a federal level. He is abusing his power, and they are all being way too secretive. What needs to happen is we need to come together, every person in Australia, or at least 70%, more than 2/3, to be able to set common law. And if we come together into a conversation, the next great conversation, we can set our own common law and regain our power from the government. No more representation. Everyone participating in the conversation of society. Take away the conflict and limitation that is introduced by the statutory code, and mental illness will start to disappear. Give people nutritious food instead of highly processed, chemicalized food, and cancer and depression and mental illness will disappear. We will live longer. We will be healthier. Take away intellectual property. Still recognize people for their creations and their hard work, but do not lock that information away from the general population. It should be shared. It has to be shared. If we are going to understand our climate, if we are going to stabilize our turbulent planet, if we are going to end poverty, we have to have whole system change. We cannot continue to spend our time in the same way that we are now and expect to have change. We have to free up time in our days. We have to remove all of this shit talk about finance and economy. Remove money altogether. If you really want a beautiful future, you need to remove that part of the system and focus that part on yourself, on your community, and on the environment. You have to learn how to understand these things. You have to take responsibility to do it yourself. If you vote for representatives, you're just going to end up with more of the same, or worse. At the moment, it is trending worse. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I've spent 4.5 years of my life researching how to make a stable, peaceful transition from this bullshit limitation society towards what I could envision, with the knowledge I acquired, as an infinitely sustainable future. Now, at ichooseinfinity.com, I've provided a lot of that information for free. Now, I haven't created a lot of it. Most of it's writing and the story, the pattern I have created. And I've tried to put in just enough information for you to be able to rearrange a lot of the things that you already know, to be able to comprehend what an infinitely sustainable future looks like, and start to fill in the gaps on how a peaceful transition might take place. Now, it's going to take a couple of days for you to really comprehend it. But what's a couple of days? Do you want to continue your life under the rule of these democratic governments that are just they've got the banks tied them up inside out, back to front, and the mining companies, inside out, back to front. They are not looking out for the people. They are looking out for themselves, and they are looking out for the system. The system is the nation. You vote for a representative, you vote for a nation. You don't vote for a community. If you vote for a community, you will remove your vote from the representatives, and you will take responsibility. Take responsibility for your environment, your family, your food, you are what you eat. Don't eat crap anymore. Come together, join into one single communication network where we can all work out how to have mass conversation that is coherent and structured. There is a way to do it, and you'll learn about that on iChooseInfinity.com. But when we come together and we can act towards a common goal, we can deliberate, we can set reasonable challenges, common law will come forth. We will see that most people, the vast majority, have very similar values, have very similar desires. Of course, there's the infinite detail and intricacy that makes us all individuals and completely unique. But there is a common framework. There always has been. So we must come together to discuss this framework and stop the limited liability. Stop leaving it for someone else. Make some time. And if we all come together, we can decide what we don't like about society, we can decide what we do like about society, and we can learn about all the new technology that can facilitate a smooth transition. Please wake up to the truth. You are responsible for your life, for your environment, for your universe. My name is Luke Nathan Hayes. I'm 31 years old. I live just north of Brisbane in Australia. And I founded the website iChooseInfinity.com. This website is the summary and the evolving works of my last 4.5 years researching to identify what could be an infinite future, what could it look like, what could it contain, how could I facilitate an exponential shift towards a future that interests, includes, and excites everyone at a much higher level. And I believe that an infinite future is possible. You just have to make time and put effort into it. I wish you all the best.